The echo chamber effect. Is your algorithm trapping you? Have you ever noticed how your social media feeds seem to know exactly what you want to see? One minute you're watching a video about cute puppies, and suddenly your entire feed is filled with adorable animals. Or perhaps you clicked on one political article and now your news recommendations are all from the same viewpoint. This isn't coincidence. It's algorithms at work. And they might be creating a digital bubble around you that's harder to escape than you realize. Imagine walking into what you think is a typical house, but once inside you discover it's actually a mirror maze. Each turn reflects what you want to see, creating an illusion that the entire world looks just like your small section of it. This is essentially what happens in our digital environments today. Every time you click, like, share, or even pause to watch something online, powerful algorithms are taking notes. They're learning about your preferences, political leanings, shopping habits, and entertainment choices. Their job? To keep you engaged for as long as possible by showing you more of what you've already shown interest in. Let's take Sarah as an example. A 35-year-old marketing executive experienced this firsthand. I started researching vegetarian recipes for a dinner party, and within days my entire Instagram feed transformed into a vegetarian cooking channel. While helpful at first, I realized I wasn't seeing anything else. It was as if the algorithm decided this was now my entire personality. Why echo chambers form? It's not just technology's fault. The technology behind these algorithms is sophisticated, but it's designed based on a simple human truth. We naturally prefer information that confirms what we already believe. Psychologists call this confirmation bias, and it's a tendency all humans share. Think about it like this. If you're a chocolate ice cream lover and someone offers you chocolate or a flavor you've never tried before, you're likely to choose chocolate. It's safe, familiar, and you know you'll enjoy it. Our brains apply this same logic to information. When algorithms detect this preference pattern, they double down on it. If you click on articles supporting one political viewpoint, the algorithm assumes, often correctly, that you'll click on similar articles in the future. Over time, opposing viewpoints simply disappear from your feed. These algorithms aren't malicious. They're just extremely efficient at detecting patterns in human behavior and optimizing for engagement. The problem comes when we forget that we're seeing a filtered version of reality. This might seem harmless when it's just about ice cream flavors or movie recommendations, but the echo chamber effect has profound implications for society. Consider two neighbors, let's call them Alex and Jordan, who use the same social media platforms but have slightly different initial interests. Because of how algorithms work, within months they could be experiencing entirely different versions of reality online. Alex's feed might suggest that climate change is the most pressing issue of our time, backed by countless scientific studies and urgent calls to action. Meanwhile, Jordan's feed might question whether climate change exists at all, filled with articles highlighting economic concerns about environmental regulations. Neither Alex nor Jordan deliberately chose these extreme positions, but their algorithms gradually nudged them toward increasingly polarized content. What's most concerning is that both believe they're seeing a balanced view of the world. This digital divide extends beyond climate change to virtually every important topic: politics, healthcare, education, religion, and even basic facts about current events. We're increasingly living in parallel information universes. Mark, a 42-year-old teacher, noticed this during family gatherings. My brother and I used to have political disagreements but could find common ground. Now it feels like we're not even operating from the same set of facts. I realized we've been getting our information from completely different sources, all reinforced by our separate digital bubbles. The good news is that once you recognize the echo chamber effect, you can take steps to counter it. Let's see some practical steps to escape your echo chamber. Tip number 1. Become an algorithm detective. Start paying attention to patterns in what you're shown online. When you notice your feed becoming too uniform, it's time to shake things up. Try searching for credible sources that present alternative viewpoints. Julie, a college student, created what she calls Viewpoint Thursdays. Once a week, I deliberately search for and read thoughtful articles from perspectives I don't typically agree with. It's uncomfortable sometimes, but it helps me understand why smart people can see the same situation differently. Tip number 2. Diversify your digital diet. Just as nutritionists recommend eating a rainbow of foods for physical health, your information diet needs variety for mental health. Intentionally follow sources and people who think differently than you do. This doesn't mean subjecting yourself to extreme or hateful content. There's a difference between diverse viewpoints and harmful misinformation. Look for thoughtful voices who can articulate positions different from your own in good faith. Tip number 3. Embrace the steelman approach. Instead of tearing down the weakest version of an opposing argument, like a straw man, challenge yourself to construct the strongest possible version of views you disagree with, like a steelman. This exercise forces you to truly understand other perspectives. You might still disagree afterward, but you'll have a more nuanced understanding of complex issues. David, an attorney, uses this technique in both his professional and personal life. Before I argue against any position, I force myself to explain it so well that someone who holds that view would say, yes, that's exactly what I believe. It's completely changed how I understand political and social issues. Tip number 4. Use technology to fight technology. Several tools now exist specifically to counter the echo chamber effect. Browser extensions that highlight potential political bias in news articles, apps that intentionally expose you to varied news sources, and randomizer buttons on some platforms that temporarily override algorithm recommendations. Even simpler approaches work too. Using private browsing mode or occasionally logging out before searching for information can help you see less personalized results. Tip number 5. Return to human connection. Perhaps the most powerful antidote to digital bubbles is face-to-face conversation with people different from yourself. Online interactions often amplify disagreement, while in-person discussions tend to highlight our shared humanity. Jennifer, a community organizer, created a Different Views dinner club in her neighborhood. Once a month we bring together people from across the political spectrum for a meal and conversation about current events. The rule is you have to listen twice as much as you speak. The breakthroughs we've had are remarkable. People don't change their core beliefs, but they stop seeing the other side as evil or stupid. As we become more aware of how algorithms shape our worldview, both users and technology companies are starting to respond. Some platforms now offer features that help diversify content, and digital literacy programs increasingly include understanding algorithmic bias. The goal isn't to ignore our preferences or consume content we find genuinely offensive. Rather, it's to ensure that our digital environments don't inadvertently narrow our understanding of complex issues or of each other. Think of it like travel. Most of us have a favorite place we love to visit, but we gain something valuable by occasionally exploring new destinations. The same is true for information. The algorithms that create echo chambers are incredibly powerful, but they're no match for human curiosity and intentionality. By becoming more conscious of how your digital environment shapes your thinking, you take the first step toward a more balanced information diet. Remember that algorithms are tools designed to serve us, not narrow our worldview. With awareness and some simple practices, you can enjoy the benefits of personalized content while maintaining a broader perspective on the world. The next time you're scrolling through your feeds, pause and ask yourself, is my algorithm trapping me in a comfortable bubble? What might I be missing? Your digital experience should be a window to the wider world, not a mirror reflecting only what you already believe. By taking control of your information environment, you'll not only develop a more nuanced understanding of complex issues, but also contribute to a healthier public discourse. If you found this exploration of digital echo chambers helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to my channel for more deep dives into how technology shapes our thinking and practical strategies for living more thoughtfully in the digital age.